So today's class is electroencephalogram. We will look into it in two sessions. We will start with the first session now. So objectives of this class will be to know about EEG, significance of it, normal EEG, how it will look like, method of recording EEG, waves of EEG, alpha rhythm, alpha block, beta rhythm, delta rhythm, theta waves. Also we will look into neurophysiological basis of EEG, synchronizing mechanism, desynchronizing mechanism, and variations in the EEG waves with age. So what is EEG? Electroencephalogram records the bioelectric currents within the brain from scalp. This is used to evaluate electrical activity in the brain. It is used to diagnose and monitor seizure disorders, can identify causes of other problems such as sleep disorders and changes in behavior. It is used to evaluate brain activity after a severe head injury or before a heart transplant or liver transplant. So electroencephalogram. Electro means electrical activity, encephalo means brain, gram means the graphic record. Okay, it is a record of spontaneous electrical activity of the brain taken from the surface of the scalp of evoked potentials, which is surface electrical activity recorded in response to a specific and adequate stimulus. It is a summated effect of innumerable excitatory and inhibitory synaptic potentials of cortical neurons. These are influenced by thalamus and reticular formation. The term was introduced by the German psychiatrist Hans Berger in 1929. So what is the significance of electroencephalogram? It is the best diagnostic tool available for assessing the abnormalities of the electrical activities of the brain. It is used in diagnosing epilepsies and studying sleep and sleep-related disorders. I want to tell you one another term, electrocardiogram. What is this? Is the electrical activity of the brain can be recorded from the pile surface of the brain cortex after opening the skull. This can be done during the surgery. So they will insert the electrodes into the gray matter and record the electrical potentials. This is called as electrocardiogram. So what is electroencephalograph? So that is the device that is used to record EEG. So here the waves which are coming from the brain are, these potentials are very, very low voltage. So we got to amplify these waves on record. So this instrument is called as electroencephalograph. So the method of taking or the procedure for recording EEG is called as electroencephalography. So what is the procedure for recording? We have like a ECG taken, we have the electrodes put over the chest, put over the legs like that. You have EEG electrodes which can be bipolar or unipolar, and they are placed in specific positions on the scalp. So you have the leads there. So here also the electrodes are there. The position is the patient will be in the recumbent position, and the locations are 4 leads are attached to the specific locations of the scalp on each side. Totally multi-channel pen recorder will record 8 channels simultaneously. There are more systems are there, more 1020 system, more systems are also there. So after getting these potentials through these pens on the graph, it can be analyzed manually or using computer. So what a normal encephalogram will look like? They constitute the waveforms of the electrical potentials from the brain. The frequencies of the brain waves range from 1 to 50 Hertz. Amplitude of the brain waves will be from 50 to 200 microvolts. They can be irregular and no general pattern can be obtained. At other times, the distinct patterns do appear. Waves recorded in a normal person will have a type of waves like alpha, beta, theta, and delta waves. So we are putting electrodes over the scalp of the persons, and we are seeing the electrical activity of the brain cells. So when we recorded that, we had different patterns. So we had a slow wave, we have a high wave, that is fast wave, we had a large amplitude wave, we have a small amplitude wave. So all these things happened. So we had 4 waves. We saw that in a normal person we have 4 types of waves: beta wave, alpha wave, theta wave, and delta wave. When you look into the beta wave, this is very high frequency wave which is present when a person is awake with mental activity. Alpha wave or the alpha rhythm occurs when the person is awake and in the resting state. Theta wave occurs during sleep. Delta wave also occurs during sleep. So you can see the frequency or the crumpiness of the frequency of the waves reduces as we go from a higher mental activity to the resting state to the sleeping state. So here we looked into the frequency of the EEG. Sometimes we can see a gamma rhythm like when there is a higher level of activity. So when the brain is more actively, more hyper excitable state, it is involving in more of the actions, then we get this gamma waves, which is of higher frequency than the beta waves. So this shows the depth of the mind. Can we see the beta waves are present in the conscious mind when we are awake, alert. Alpha waves when we are resting, but we are awake, but we are resting. Theta waves when we are going into sleep, that is subconscious mind, and the delta waves when we are deep into sleep. So now we will look into the alpha waves, the moderate waves. Okay, this is the most prominent component of EEG. It is seen when the person is awake but quite and at rest with eyes closed. This is due to the activity of non-specific thalamocortical system. So what is the frequency? That is a moderate frequency. Okay, 8 to 13 Hertz. The amplitude is a slowly waxing and waning waves. Amplitude is about 50 to 100 microvoltage. It is located most prominently seen in the parieto-occipital area. It will disappear during sleep. So here you can see the alpha rhythm, beta rhythm, which is more in frequency than the alpha rhythm, delta rhythm and theta rhythm less in frequency than your alpha rhythm. What are the factors that affect the alpha wave frequency? Factors which causes a decrease in the alpha waves are old age, hypoglycemia, hypothermia, hypertension, low levels of adrenal glucocorticoids, high partial pressure of carbon dioxide and sleep. Causes which will increase the frequency of alpha wave is hyperglycemia, hypothermia, hypotension, low level of arterial carbon dioxide, high levels of adrenal glucocorticoids and alerting states. So when we record an alpha wave with the person at rest with eyes closed, you get a moderate frequency wave. When he suddenly opens the eyes, this waveform disappears or attenuates. This is called as alpha block or alpha attenuation or aroused or alerting response. This is also called as desynchronization. So it is a phenomena in which the alpha wave attenuates and are replaced by fast irregular waves of low amplitude. This occurs when a person's eyes are open, when the individual engage in conscious mental activity, or when there is any form of stimulation applied. So here you can see the alpha block. Alpha waves are recorded, and when the person is suddenly opening the eyes, there is a desynchronized activity, and when the eyes are closed, again it returns back to the alpha wave frequency. This is called as alpha block. So now beta waves. So when a person is awake and he is resting with eyes closed, we get a moderate wave that is called as alpha waves. Now he is engaging in some activity, then you get a more higher frequency wave, and that is called as beta rhythm or fast beta rhythm. Beta rhythm is of frequency 14 to 30 more than the alpha rhythm, and when we look into the amplitude, it is 5 to 10 microvolts, much smaller than your alpha waves. It is also seen in the parietal and the frontal regions. So what conditions will evoke this beta waves? When the person is eyes open and sometimes eyes closed, also in the frontal regions you can get this. When the person is tensed and the CNS activation is there, it is an arousal response. Infants have the beta-like activity in the EEG in the occipital rhythm. Barbiturates can induce beta-like activity, typical at a frequency of 18 to 24 Hz. So what is theta rhythm? Theta waves do not occur in normal waking individuals except in newborns. When we think about theta waves, you think about the children. So it is most commonly present in the children during moderate sleep. It attenuates during crying in children. Emotional stress in adults, particularly during disappointment and frustration, evokes these theta waves. In many brain disorders also you have theta waves. So they do not occur in the normal waking individual, and it is seen mostly in children. So the characteristic features of theta waves will include the frequency is 4 to 7 Hz, amplitude 10 microvolts, that is much more larger than your beta waves and smaller than the alpha waves. It is located in the temporal and the parietal region in the children. So now we come to the fourth wave, which is seen in the EEG. We saw about alpha waves, moderate frequency. We saw about beta waves, fast beta waves than the alpha waves. We saw about theta waves, which is much less frequency than the alpha waves, but the amplitude is more than the alpha waves. Then last we see about the delta waves. This is a slow waves, very slow waves, and this is having this occurs during the deep stages of sleep, stage 3 and stage 4 of non-REM sleep. It is seen in infancy. It is seen in alert state in adults. A serious brain damage. When there is serious damage, it can be produced by overbreathing. So the delta waves have a frequency of 0.5 to 4 Hz. Very, very less frequency, slow waves, and the amplitude is very, very high, large waves. Okay, large waves but slow waves. So the amplitude is around 20 to 200 microvolts. Location, it occurs strictly in the cortex, independent of the activities of the lower regions of the brain. Therefore, they occur in sleep when the cortex is released from the activating influence of lower centers. So till now we looked into the what is electroencephalogram. It is a record of electrical activity of the brain. We knew what is electrocardiogram. We knew what is electroencephalography. We knew what are the waves of EEG. About the 4 waves of EEG are alpha waves, beta waves, theta waves, and delta waves. Sometimes we get a gamma waves too, but these 4 are very, very important. What are they? Alpha, beta, theta, and delta. When you are working very hard, doing lot of works, awake, then you get fast beta rhythm. Now you slow down, rest, eyes closed, but you are awake, you get alpha rhythm. Now you are getting into much slower, getting into a sleep. Okay, eyes closed. Now you get a theta rhythm. You go much deeper into the sleep, you get a delta rhythm. So you have the waves becoming slower, slower, slower and slower, and the amplitude increasing, increasing and increasing. When it is the delta rhythm, maximum amplitude you get. So with this background, we'll go into the neurophysiological basis of EEG. So what is this EEG? It is the graphical recording of the electrical activity that is occurring in the neurons. Okay, so the cortex has the neuronal cells which are called as pyramidal cells. So in the pyramidal cells, they are influenced by the thalamus, and they synchronize the activity of your pyramidal cells. So because of this synaptic activity, you have a synaptic potentials created there. So these synaptic potentials are the ones which are emitted and they are produced as your electrical activity. So in the cortical neurons are the pyramidal cells which are arranged parallel to each other. They have axons, they have dendrites, and there are sites or synapses where the other neurons come and influence them. So there is a synaptic potential which is created. So at the site of junction, what happens is there is influx of positive ions, and the extracellular fluid surrounding it becomes negative. So that is a place where there is a current sink. The current dips there. So the extracellular fluid is negative there. So this is one. This you got to remember. Next, what happens is the other places, that is the dendrites and cell bodies, where there is a positive ions there. So here this becomes a source. So you have a place in the neurons where there is a current dip, and as well as there is a source, positive ions and positive activity and a negative activity. So when you put an electrode over the skull, these two reflections are taken up by the electrodes and it deflects and it produces a waveform. But when you look into a single neuronal activity, this is very difficult because the waves are very less and they also disperse among themselves. So when there is a synchronized activity of this parallelly arranged neuronal cells, these potentials are summated and you get the waveform. So this is how you get an EEG. So I told you, because of the synchronization between the pyramidal neurons, the potentials, the postsynaptic potentials are summated and it is recorded as a EEG wave. So what is the cause behind this synchronizing mechanism? One is synchronizing activity of the neighboring cells, two, rhythmic discharge from the thalamus. So there is a desynchronizing activity also happens, isn't it? When you suddenly open up the eyes or when you do an activity, there is a desynchronizing activity. So the replacement of the rhythmic EEG pattern with irregular low voltage activity, that is arousal reaction, that is called as desynchronizing mechanism. The cause is sensory stimulation of RAS. So why do we say the RAS is important for desynchronizing mechanism? When we when the scientists did a lot of experiments over the brain, stimulating, cutting the brain and so on, they found out that stimulation of specific sensory systems up to the midbrain, only up to the reticular formation, when the reticular formation is present, produces desynchronization, and stimulation of these systems above the midbrain do not produce desynchronization. Second one, large lesions of the midbrain that interrupt the medial meniscus or the ascending sensory pathway fail to prevent the desynchronization. High frequency stimulation of reticular formation in the midbrain produces desynchronization. Lesions in the midbrain tegmentum that disrupt RAS will produce a asynchronized EEG. So what is the variation of EEG waveform with age? There will be a theta waves. As the children grows up, slow theta rhythm becomes a faster alpha rhythm. After 15 years of age, almost adult rhythm occurs. Thank you. We will continue with the next section for EEG applied aspects.